characters that we created in an RPG game that now interview people. I don't know if you've seen Killer Karen or not, but that's Laurie Needlemeyer's alter ego and my alter ego from the Slaughterville game. And they now interview characters, right?
Yeah.
Or interview people. They interview creators like yourself. You just have to have big enough sack to go on Killer Karen.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because she's a Karen, like the ultimate Karen. And it's not like comic books, man.
Speaking of characters, since this is your first appearance on this show, so people who didn't know you from the previous before, as I can do this justice for you, let's start here, then we'll get to the point where you have Madness Comic Network. Actually, man, how was your life growing up? Actually, I don't think I even asked you that before. I think because you didn't grow up in Texas. You grew up in
Texas. I was born in Minneapolis. In my childhood, went back and forth between Minneapolis and Phoenix.
Okay. Phoenix, Arizona.
Going back and forth. My parents couldn't decide where they wanted to live.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They'd buy a house, they'd live in it for 5 years, they'd pack up and then move. Buy another house. It's like, can we just hang out some more?
I'm not going to lie, though. To be fair, that sounds like a really good idea now, because if you bought property back then and sold it, if they had kept all those houses, they'd be filthy, stinking rich at this point.
Yeah, man, they'd have a nice house in Phoenix, 2 nice houses in Minneapolis. Well, 3 nice houses in Phoenix and 2 nice houses in Minneapolis. Yeah. They moved back and forth. So I didn't, and it wasn't never back to the same neighborhood. Mm-hmm. So we moved from Minneapolis to Phoenix and then back to Minneapolis, not to the same neighborhood, then back to Phoenix, not to the same neighborhood. You know what I mean? So it was like totally meeting new people. Always new friends, and some of them still friends of mine to this day, from my childhood. I got quite a few friends from Minneapolis and Phoenix that I went to school with, grade school, and and they still watch my crazy ass do stuff like this.
So after that, what about, you remember high school still at this point? Because you're like 70 at this point, so high school is probably a distant memory.
70, get the fuck out of here. I went to Washburn Junior High, which was just a 9th grade school in Minneapolis, and then moved to Phoenix and went to Maryvale High School in Phoenix just for a little while. And then I was like, hey, it sucks. I'm going to the Navy. And when I was 17, I went in the Navy. So,
you actually were in the Army, essentially.
No, Navy.
Navy. Oh, I forgot. With Army people, you have to always make sure the distinctions there between being the Marines, the military, and the Navy. So
my mom was a Marine. My dad was a sailor. My son is a soldier. I was a sailor too.
Okay. You still look back on that? Do you still look back on that with fondness, actually, about serving?
No, I got treated like shit. I did not get what I signed up for, so I basically didn't hang around long.
Honorable discharge you got?
My general under honorable, because I was fighting their contract, which they didn't follow.
Yeah.
Well, if you stand up to them, they don't like that.
Oh, of course not. Right.
So I was like, if you're not giving me what I signed up for, I'm going home, guys, one way or the other, That's all. I mean, I wish they'd have done me right, because I wanted to do what I signed up for.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to do that. They wanted to make me something I didn't want to be.
So after that, what did you end up doing? Like just going back to being a regular citizen, but later on, you ended up becoming a content creator. So how did you get inspired to do that?
That didn't happen till I was 54 years old.
Really? So what did you do? Were you like a hot dog vendor or something like that?
No, I sold a lot of weed.
Okay.
Worked any job anybody ever offered me, I took.
Okay.
Not because I needed a job, but because I like to learn shit. I've worked at radio stations, I've run warehouses, I've done all kinds of shit, right? Because somebody says, hey, Pops, I want you to come work for me. I'm like, okay. Because there's something about their business I don't know, and I like to learn. So I've always been that way. But what happened here, this thing, I just had a little Facebook group, man, for people that we'd come out and we'd be like, I got, look what I got today in the store. Kind of like what you do, right? That was what my Facebook group was about 400 people that talked about comics. And that's all it was. It wasn't meant to, none of this was ever planned out. When COVID shut down Emerald City, the first con that got shut down by COVID in 2020, I had a whole bunch of friends went, because they ain't setting up no tables.
Yeah.
They're not going to make any money. Some of them weren't even getting their money back for the tables they had paid for that summer. It was a really bad summer, right? So I got a hold of Brian Polito. I'm like, dude, what are you going to do? Because I knew he was getting ready to set up at Emerald City, had all these variants for the Lady Death, and, just, the kind of production that Brian puts on at a con, right? Well, he told me, he goes, man, Francesca was on the ball. She got to the shipping company and got our stuff turned around and sent back before it went in the building. Because anything that went in the building was stuck there. Quarantined, stuck there. Wasn't going nowhere, right? So he got lucky. He had all this stuff shipped back to Phoenix. And he's like, so we're just going to have a big sale this weekend online.
Yeah.
Ding, light bulb went off for me. I was like, oh, that's great for you. But what about my other friends? And that's when I started doing CromCon, which was once a month event every month. And we come out and we talk to 30, 40, 50, 60 creators over the weekend. We had panels, it was just the online con. But we would make sure everybody had links to everybody's campaigns and everybody's stuff, their stores, wherever they were selling stuff, because there wasn't no tables anywhere across the nation. The cons were shut down by COVID.
Yeah.
So that's how I got into doing the actual broadcasting. Okay, CromCon was the real beginning of it, and then it just grew. There would be people that couldn't get a seat in CromCon. It would book out, right? And I'd always get 3, 4, 5 people going, man, I was trying to get a spot, man. So I started doing Monday Madness 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Monday Madness is still a show that we do every week.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? It shows
4-year anniversary you did earlier this year, I remember.
It was actually, we're looking at our 5th year anniversary. We just passed the Madness Facebook group, just passed its 5th year anniversary, and CromCon in April will be the beginning of the YouTube channel will be our 5th year.
Damn, that's crazy at this point. Yeah. I remember COVID shut everything down, and it was so crazy looking back on it now because it felt like it went by so fast. But if you weren't ever living in that moment, you felt like it wasn't going to end anytime soon.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it depended where you lived. We lived in Michigan where Shitmer shut everything down. I mean, we couldn't go play golf in the open air.
Really?
Yeah, dude, she shut down the golf courses and everything.
We had it about as bad, honestly. Dude, like, there's like places in town that are usually pretty packed. Like when people get off work, like 5 your time will be like 8 my time. Sometimes it flipped out a little bit. Roads were just dead. Roads were literally had like maybe one car passing through. People were literally just shut in because of that. Yeah.
It was crazy, man. It was.
Do you think lights ever recovered from that? At least living here. Do you think it ever went back? It never felt the same when everything came back. It felt like it just kind of feels like people just going through the motions. Because you're like movie theaters. I've been in the movie theaters. My movie theater here used to be really packed for like the weekend.
I haven't been in one.
Dead.
I haven't been in one in quite a while, man. Look, well, first they got to give us a movie worth going and paying to see.
That'd be a good start. That'd be a great start.
Let's be real, right? The last couple of times I was highly disappointed, so it gets harder and harder for me to give them my money. But in reality, it's like I think we did CromCon 39 months in a row. Okay. Before I really felt like the cons had come back, people were going to the cons again, and they didn't really need this anymore. Okay. Not that it wasn't still drawing views and successful, helping people sell books and whatnot. That's just a hell of a production to put on a 3-day show a 3-day all-day show once a month. You know, just booking that is a all-month job. Okay, try booking 60 spots in one weekend, bro. Go ahead. You know how difficult it is to book one show a week or 2 shows a week, right?
Yeah.
Try to book 60 people.
Last year, I remember when I was throwing up those indie Twitter posts to get people to come on the show because I needed to build a one-on-one so that other show that I don't technically have anymore got retconned. Yeah. Guys, there's so many people messaging me. I had to literally write out on, like, I went to my phone. I hit the Notepad app on my phone to literally section off, okay, when do I have this person? There's so many people. I tell people that don't do this. Like, when you try to set up a one-on-one to have some consistent one-on-ones, it's not just that it's even hard. It's time zones. You have to make sure that person comes on. Then you have to also make sure you link up before that day to know, hey, are you going to come on? Then after that, when the person comes on, you got to wonder, like, hey, does your microphone work very good? Can you conversate? Because you know the biggest problem, man, that I hate when I do these.
One word answer. You don't have to tell me. The worst part of this whole thing is one word answer.
God, man, those are the worst. I tell people this. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm not trying to be mean. Because I told you the shows are going on the podcast platform, so I have fans there. If anyone is like that and you give me one word answers where I feel like the conversation's dry and it's like it's me having to get everything out of you, I delete it. Because there's no point, man. Because if someone's gonna come to you and waste your, because this is already, we already have nothing to do in life, just in general. And time's very valuable. You could die at any point, and I would rather not waste my time on someone that doesn't really want to be here. You know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna give me one word answers, I'm not gonna waste the time putting that content up on my channel, because first of all, that makes me look bad. And someone's going to watch that and go, wow, how can I? Let's say you have an indie creator, right? Whether he's doing a book or a comic book, or a novel or a comic book. If that person doesn't even feel like they want to promote themselves or want to engage themselves in the conversation, why am I trying? I'll literally just make up a line, be like, hey, my internet's going out. I'm leaving. And when they're like, hey, where's the show at? I'm like, oh, yeah, I didn't accidentally record, even though that wouldn't make any sense because you can see if it's recording.
I tell you what, I kind of have a couple of pointed questions when that's happening. And then I come out and I'm just straight up. It's like, look, I can only draw so much out of you. You got to give me something. Yeah. You got to give me something, bro. You know, I mean,
usually I try holding back a little bit because, I try to if the person has that bubbly, conversative personality, I let them talk because, then I could just engage later on. But you could tell just there's times, and it's not really naming names. It's more like it happens so much that I was like, you know what? You can only get a first appearance out of so many people, but these were people that had nothing to add on anything. I was like, do you have a personality? Do you have any thoughts on anything?
See,
even something that you were knowledgeable on.
A lot of them just don't know how to do this.
Yeah.
Okay. They get nervous. Come on, man. I was in radio when I was in my 20s. So this was easy, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Coming out here and talking to a microphone, I've done that before. That was easy. Yeah. Right. So, but I understand the people that are shy or the people that just aren't outgoing or whatever. And that's what I mean. That's what I laugh and I go, you got to give me something, bro, or nobody's going to be watching. We're promoting a book here. I mean,
after that, there are people that don't watch live content and will watch the replay. And if someone's watching the replay of something, they will click off so fast that they feel like there's no energy from that person. Right. Or anytime you're doing a panel show, because why are they, if that person isn't even trying to promote themselves or give their best, why am I giving that person my best? That's a waste of my time. There was one that I had recently, probably like last month, lasted 30 minutes. And I was like, okay, there's nothing here. This person is straight up just not interesting. I was like, man, this is absolute trash. You ever did a show like that and you were like, man, this is absolute trash. I'm out.
and that's why I'm trying to do so many different types of shows.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, now the one where we interview the character, you can hide behind an avatar. You don't have to show your face, whatever, or you can damn cosplay the character if you want to. I don't care. You see what I'm saying? It's like those kind of things don't matter. The content, make people smile, make people giggle, make people laugh first and foremost. If you can get the positive emotional from them, then you're on your way to them watching more of your shows, right? Yeah. Okay, so I don't come out and do all the drama shit and all that. I try to make shows fun, okay? Occasionally, of course, everything gets derailed once in a while. There's some things you can't avoid,
Yeah.
But I try. I do my best to try all the. I ain't trying to get step in nobody else's shit. I got my own fucking network to run. You know what I mean? So try to stay out of all that dumb shit anymore. I'm not gonna say I didn't used to engage regularly, but
because every day it's like not even just the same thing. Something happens every single day. Now I'm a demented, crazy person. I'll get into it. I don't care. But I know other people will just be like, you know what? It's too much because it's just at the end of the day, it's just gonna be who people are gonna be. People are gonna say they don't like drama, but then that's the only content they watch. And then go like, well, why doesn't someone else not do that? But they don't watch the people that aren't doing it because it's. I learned this with people do in life. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you know this too, from being a bit older. People are always going to say what sounds nice, but their actual actions are never going to do it. And then you point that out. They're like, I don't do that. You don't. Oh, sure. Yeah.
It's funny because I will go tune in every now and then and watch to see what's going on, right? To see what's going on in one of these streams I used to watch. Just to see what they're up to now. And 4 or 5 minutes in, and I'm like, yeah, I'll just say something cute in the chat like, this ain't selling no comics, I'm out. Because that's all I care about is trying to help promote people and help them sell comics. That's my game. Everybody wants to argue. Hell, they draw me into the argument. I say what I got to say, and then I leave it behind.
Yeah, because I know when it comes to like certain people in the indie comic space, this isn't drama, but people have brought up the fact that someone will promote somebody and then that person feels not as good when that person doesn't reciprocate that promotion. But this is the only thing I've ever said to this. This is just a life thing in general. There's always, like in a relationship with a girl, there's always going to be one person giving more than the other. That's just how it is. Now, that doesn't mean that person doesn't love you or like you, potentially. It's just there's always going to be one person trying harder. Now, the other thing about that is sometimes people are just ungrateful. That's just how it sometimes works. Some people literally, it's not that they don't like you or anything. They just don't value your shit the same way they value their own. They're only there for clout chasing. That's all it is. So it could be two things. I don't think it's either or as lopsided as most people have said. It's mostly off the fact that if you're promoting someone this hard and they're not doing it for you, you have to really think to yourself, like, that person even, it's not like, maybe it's a personal thing. It's like, do they even like what you're doing?
Well, there's been a couple times where I've had to separate from people in the network, okay? Because I'll go look to see what they're doing for the network. And when I go look and I find out they're not promoting anybody else's shows in the network, they're not promoting the network, they don't talk about the network except where their show is concerned.
A simple retweet, a simple tweet would
exactly.
Do that. Okay, it's not asking anything hard. You act like you're asking them to not send a nuke somewhere or something.
It's like when I go look and I see that somebody in our network is not helping promote other people in our network, then I look at them kind of funny and go, "Yo, man, what's up? Are you here for to help everybody, or are you here for yourself?" Because when I find out you're there for yourself, you probably end up walking. You ain't getting a ride anymore. I'm willing to carry everybody on this train, man. But if you ain't willing to push somebody a little bit, you gotta make
it. All aboard the Madness Comic Hype Train. Just get a train and put everyone's faces on memes on people and just get the train going.
Well, I mean, I know there's a lot of people who don't like me because I ain't afraid to say what I say. I'm a constitutionalist and I believe in free speech, and I don't care if you say what you're saying. I'm not trying to take away your power to speak your mind.
Yeah.
Don't do that to me. And you see it. You see people that just won't promote anything you're doing or anybody that you're associated with. And it's like, that's just weak. It doesn't help the nation at all.
I always just, because I never promoted that much on social media as far as my videos or, back in that old channel that got taken down. I just did videos and just hope they did good based off of I hope they did good. Because I didn't come from that background. For people sharing, I was like, man, people care and retweet and share. I was like, that's a different story for me. I never come from that. So when I usually put out videos now, I'll share them now. But then people will ask you well, why aren't you marketing? Maybe it's because you're not marketing. It's like everyone markets, everyone does. It's just so much competition. I share and I retweet as much stuff as I can, but guys, I'm only just one person. And there's so many other people doing it to the point where it's like, what makes me stand out separate from you, or you and me separate?
See, that's why it's my reach, then your reach, then the next guy's reach, and the next guy's reach. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
my
5
reach is
retweets
only
are
so
better
long
than one.
too. My reach is only so long. If nobody's sharing out what I'm doing, it's only going to go as far as my groups, my social media, my YouTube channel, right? And that's it. Okay. That's the whole point of having a network, and networking is so that the reach gets longer. You know what I mean?
If you network, like you're saying, then you're able to get connections with people and talk to them. And as a content creator, most people like to think you could just do everything by yourself. I can't. I told people I can't have a show like this because I'm not interesting enough to have a show like this. I need a panel show. You have to know your weaknesses and go like, okay, I'm not good at this. I gotta seek out some help. I gotta get it going.
I give shows away all the time. I mean, I gave Lori the Tuesday Morning Brew.
Something that's crazy.
Oh yes.
I don't have rights in this country. That's crazy.
A long time ago too, man. Like a year and a half ago, we had the Tuesday Morning Brew was a good show, but it was a panel show that always went off the rails, right? Always went off the rails, and I was like, man, I need somebody to come in here and run this show, right? And because it had a good following, but it was just always so chaotic. And I was like, Lori, you want to host this show? And she said, well, if I host it, I'm going to do my way. That's fine. Do you want to host this show? And I gave her the show, man. And she's done 120 episodes now or so. She's done a lot of episodes of the Tuesday Morning Brew. And I wouldn't change that for the world. She took that show and gave it her personality, and it's awesome. I'm trying to wrangle a UK host up for the What's Your Issue show. I don't know if you know Rob Price or not. The Big Package. Rob Price, yeah.
He's familiar.
I'm trying to bring him in as a co-host or alternate host for the What's Your Issue show. I'm always trying to look for people that I think would fit a show to give it to them. The Madness Open Draw Stream. I'm not an artist. I'm the last person that should be hosting that show. But everybody wants me to hang out and talk to the people in the comments and whatnot. But I really feel stupid as a host of a show about art. I can't draw, or I don't draw. I'm not an artist, right? So I've never felt right that show. What's up, Edwin? Gray Wolf. See people popping up in the chat over there.
And another thing that I've seen that you do is you're basically, you went with this idea. Why create content myself? And I can just have other people bring it to me. That's not a bad idea though, because
that was the networking part. That's how you grow. Okay, I still got my own content that I create and give to people. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, I come up with fresh ideas for shows, but then at some point, that show is going to be hosted by somebody else if it's successful, because I don't got time to do too many damn shows. Right?
If you were like Deadpool and you could make multiple versions of yourself, just imagine that. Oh shit! Like, I know you have the Silver Lion Comics show on your channel. Actually, three. Yeah, I would love to talk to some of those guys about comic books. That seems amazing. I can't never get in contact with them. I don't know what their contact info is. But if you could put me in contact with them, I would love that. As you know, I talk about comics here. I actually have a comic channel myself. I just put out a video today on it. Man, comic books, as you guys can see, I love this stuff, man. I can't describe how much I love comics. It's so fun. I fucking love it, man. Like just buying a comic, whether it's indie, whether it's from the mainstream, whether I get my pull list every week. I love it. Just opening a comic book, reading it. You open it from the packaging, you smell the fresh comic book smell. I'm about to stop doing that. I'm going to become a crackhead, smelling fresh comic book smell. Oh my God.
I like to consider, hi, Kitty, Flip City Magazine. What's up, Christy? I like to consider everybody in Silver Line friends, but the only one I really interact with is Roland. I mean, he's the one that runs Silver Line, and those shows are all Silver Line shows. And we just simulcast. You see what I'm saying? Roland wanted to be part of the network. He was like the first guy that came forward and went, yeah, Pops, I want to go to Roku. I want to be part of this network, and brought all 3 of his shows to the channel. And that was, I mean, the whole thing with YouTube is it was a beta test. Can I get enough content to make going to Roku worthwhile? Are we going to put enough content up over there that the ad revenue is going to fucking make us all a little bit of money, as opposed to YouTube, which doesn't make shit? I mean, if you don't have people throwing super chats at you, you ain't making money on YouTube.
Yeah. No, because remember, I told you, even when I had my bigger channel, even I had videos that did like on average 300, 400 views. Dude, I only made like $180 a month on average. So like 150 to 180 bucks a month on average. But that was me. I had to upload every single day for that. If I missed an upload, I told you that story, I got $99.99. He just said, you can't get paid out. Let's slide you $100.
Yep.
Yep.
And that's the other thing, the pay threshold, all that dumb shit. Going to Roku eliminates, like, for you, you don't have a subscriber threshold, you don't have a watch hour threshold. The first time your show airs and an ad plays, you're getting fucking half that revenue on day one. There is no, when we go to Roku, there ain't no bullshit. There ain't no, we're just going to give everybody what they deserve. Everybody's going to get their fair share for their content. And we're the ones that provide the maintenance and the upload and all the, code written for the Roku and everything, the servers to store it all on. That's why we get half of that ad revenue, because we're paying for all the shit, but basically everybody that is part of the network is completely on board. We have a few people that want to join in, but timing, like when their show runs, they're not part of the network right now because they don't want to step on somebody else's time slot. They're just waiting till we go to Roku, because then it's everybody's stuff gets uploaded whenever they send it to.
Yeah. So if people don't remember, you wanted to basically not like stop doing YouTube, obviously, but you wanted to bring all the shows you have, all that content, and then upload all that content to Roku to have it being looped on Roku with ads, obviously.
Playlists, just on demand, just like Netflix, where somebody can go watch they can binge watch every show you did.
Yeah. So what's the status update on that? Is that ever still going to be a thing, or did you just kind of halt on that? You get some more revenue for that?
What happened is I went to do some things that I couldn't do with my own financial situation. I couldn't provide certain paperwork to get certain legalities.
Yeah, man. Yeah, happens.
I don't have tax returns and shit. Grandpa daycare hasn't paid a wage for 10 years. You know what I mean? That's not something I have a tax return in it. So when I went to do the banking thing,
kind of guy.
Yeah, well, when you go to do get an LLC, they ask you for things, right? You got to have this, you got to have this. Some of this shit I ain't got. So I had to find a business partner. And through some really decent luck, I met somebody who is now my chief financial officer. The Madness Entertainment Group is now a legitimate company. It's an LLC. We actually have the Meg TV website in construction right now, and you can go there and check it out, and you can see the progress being made on the website, which will have everybody involved in the network's links to their everything. Okay, it'll have all their socials, their stores, campaigns, whatever they got going on, they will be represented. Same with sponsors, will be represented on the website. The Meg.TV, bro. It's legit. It's real now. The Madness Entertainment Group. Okay, that's what it is. And that opened all the doors. Okay, at the same time all the doors open, I'm going through surgery and all this other dumb shit. So, getting done what we can get done. Right now we're working on the website. That's the main focus right now.
The website, so you could just basically have everyone's content structured where you can just go there and binge it. That's a good idea too. Yeah, a website definitely has a lot of reach too. And you can also play ads on there too, because you have everyone abide by the rules of Google, because that's what we have to do.
But that's the whole other reason to go into Roku.
Yeah.
I want to be up there.
Yeah.
I want to be up there next to YouTube, not on YouTube.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I want our logo to be right there on that Roku thing menu, right next to YouTube.
Yeah.
And yeah, our stuff is on YouTube, but look, it don't have to be. It don't. Have to, you know.
Have you ever contemplated putting the content you have on like Spotify or any audio platforms like that?
Well, everything we do is a visual medium.
Oh no, they allow video on Spotify now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on Pilled, I'm on Rumble, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Twitch, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, and Facebook's about to get kicked to the curb. They keep fucking with me. They're pissing me off.
I'm surprised you guys. I was surprised you even streamed on Facebook. Yeah, I never streamed on Facebook. That sounds like trash.
Once I get to Roku, all those platforms are going to get as shorts.
Yeah.
And reels. They're not going to get shows. See what I'm saying? Because they don't pay. Fucking. Whoa. Now maybe if YouTube gets huge and they start paying me on then maybe we'll go back to giving them content. But once the Roku is up for me, now that's not saying everybody else's YouTube channels won't still be intact.
Yeah.
The Madness Facebook group, the Madness YouTube channel, the Madness Twitter, the Madness everything. All you're going to see for us is shorts that direct you to Roku. If you want to see what happened the rest of this show, go watch on Roku. That's my job, is to direct traffic to the Roku channel so my friends can make some money.
Yeah.
You see, so I won't be giving YouTube my content anymore. Monday Madness, the shows that I do, those will be exclusively on
Roku. Because on Rumble, people don't point anything out bad about it because they're all built in this idea of like, fuck YouTube and Rumble's the future. But if you were a semi-decently big content creator, I'm talking like huge. I'm talking like maybe you had like the same size of audience that we do in terms of like subs or anything. If you were just exclusive on Rumble for a little bit, because I was just for a little bit, half the audience doesn't even watch over there nor care. I don't know why there's on Twitter. There's such you've seen it on Twitter. There's this like fake push of people that say, "Oh, Rumble's the future," blah blah. They don't watch anybody on Rumble.
I had 1,000 videos on Rumble when we first started. We were doing Rumble. I had 1,000 videos on Rumble and never got no play. And then recently, I started doing Rumble again just because. Why not?
Yeah, well, you never did.
I created a new one that's under the branding, the Madness Comic Network. The older one was the Comic Talk with Pops Van Zandt. Before I ever had any aspirations of building a network or any of that shit. It was just me talking comics. We had 1,000 videos over there and never got no play because it's just a political platform at the time. That's what it was. It wasn't a comic platform.
Now. That's still what it is now, is it not? Now, basically, after you hear about whatever politics you want to hear about, now you can go play Call of Duty, Black Ops 6.
And it's the same, like, I post stuff over there. I get 2, 3 views, 4 views, 5 views, maybe. I mean, now Pilled is the new one, and that's actually a free speech platform. Okay, people over there playing movies, full movies, don't give a fuck, doing all kinds of shit. And I'm like, yeah, I like that. So we post some of our shows over there. Just because, I mean, it's another platform. It's another place to get seen. We picked up a lot of new subscribers on the YouTube channel that caught us on Pilled. And then, of course, they just support the other network as well, right? The other channel as well. But a lot of cool people over on Pilled. I'm having a really good time when we do broadcast live. I have a couple things I put on there specifically just on Pilled, and we get a lot of good feedback from people. About the horror movie club and that we do right on Thursday nights with Brian.
Yep.
Okay, on Pilled, I go over there before his show and I play the actual movie, so that people can go watch the movie and then go hang out with Brian and Preston and listen to what they have to say about it. It's cool as hell. We have fun. Addie is one of our artists from the Madness Open Draw stream on Sundays.
That's what I said. Amazing. You guys, TikTok is something that I'm maybe looking into doing in 2025. I don't know yet. I'm not the shorts kind of guy. I don't post shorts. When people do shorts, I'll watch them, but I'm not doing them myself. TikTok, I thought about doing it. because to be fair, you know, I've older people say, well, why are the kids not following what we're doing? Well, if you don't actually go to them and show them what you're about and what you are, they can't know who you they can't know you because you're not going where they are. I think people should have a TikTok. I don't think it's a bad idea. If you get a lot of followers there and you could somehow convert them over into subs, that's a good idea.
I can't figure TikTok out. I've made 2 accounts over there. I posted 5 videos on the first one, and then they wouldn't let me post anymore. I posted 4 videos on the second one. They wouldn't let me post anymore. And it was just shorts from shows. It wasn't anything bad or anything. And I just like both accounts are just like frozen. I don't know. You know, I just quit messing with it. It was like, Omer Glitch, what's up? Yeah, I just quit messing with that, man. Because
God. The same thing with me and Twitch. I for me and Twitch, the platform is it's so bad for discoverability on everything. And you have shows that go longer than me. Like I've only shows that peak out about 1-2 hours, maybe. Right. You have shows that could go for like 3-4 hours. Even that doesn't get any traction. You know,
it could be. Like, I could be too base for TikTok, but they were like shorts from our shows. It's not always me.
It's not politics either.
The only reason I do shorts at all is because StreamYard has a little feature in the backstage where you can
they create them for you.
Yeah. I wouldn't be doing it if
No, I'm not.
I don't have time.
Right? Yeah, the thing is, I can't talk for 60 seconds and put all of my thoughts into one thing for it to convey like I want it to. I have to be able to voice my thoughts out in a longer form. I just can't do 60 seconds. That's so trash. If someone else do it for me, create the content for me, go ahead. I'm not paying you because I'm broke and I'm black.
It's funny because sometimes I'll be in a hurry and I'll just grab a few of them shorts and schedule them for the next day on YouTube, right? Without listening to them. And the AI ain't the best at creating shorts. I'm just saying. Sometimes they cut off in mid-sentence or they start in mid-sentence, So if you're using the StreamYard AI, it's best to listen to them before you air them and make sure they make full sense. You know?
I did that before when I was first clipping out content. You do a podcast and you clip out stuff to upload as regular videos. I forgot that if you clip out stuff, you have to make sure that the ending and the beginning are in sync. I would just clip out stuff and throw it up, and it's all synced out of whack. There's like a random part we're talking about. It's not even in the video. Holy crap. What's up, man? No, like
Cosmic right there. That's my dude. That's our chief financial officer. That's my dude right there.
I agree on Twitch. And as you know, Twitch is going through the whole adpocalypse thing. It's just for Twitch, I just didn't feel like what I'm putting there is mattering or worth anything. Like literally, I could just go on X right now as we're doing, promote the show. This show has not just viewers. People are going to watch it consistently. I just after it's broadcasted, and they would actually know it's here. Twitch has such horrible alerts. Twitch has terrible ways of discoverability. The only thing I'm ever putting on Twitch is just straight up gameplay. If I ever get back and do that,
that's what I did too. I quit putting all the interviews and talks over there. If it's not gaming, I'm not going to waste my time over
there. Yeah, unless it's literally a gaming playthrough, like you said, it doesn't matter. Unless you're just going outside and bending over and butt fucking horses and maybe learning a gym.
But there is sometimes a few. I mean, I've only got like 40 followers on Twitch, but there are times when the Sunday draw stream gets good views there. Okay, but that's it's like it's very choice stuff. I put everything over there, and there ain't much people look at. It's just like Rumble. I was putting everything over there, and there was only certain things people would look at. So you trim it down, right? Because, like you said at the beginning of this show, time is the most important thing. Okay, we only have a limited amount of time. You don't get no extras. There's no ding, 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 extra play. You don't get none of that shit, right? Your time is the most valuable thing in your life.
Yeah. Once the day's over and these hours are gone, you never get that back. So that's why a few years ago, I was looking at like all the time I was wasted on. I was looking back a few years ago on all this time I was wasting on certain things. I was like, I got to clean up my time. My time has to be focused on this, and this. And if I have extra time, maybe I do something else. But a lot of people don't realize that, man. We don't got too much time left. And you got to make every single moment count. I'm not saying you're going to die like tomorrow, but just make
it count. Like this. Look at it like this. You're only immortal for a limited time, people. You might feel like you get to be here forever, but you don't. Okay. How valuable is your time? That's really what it comes down to. If you don't care about it, you don't care. That's cool. To me, having had 6 years taken away already, Okay, I went to prison for weed, bro. That's taking time from somebody. Okay, I
Yeah.
went to prison for weed, not for shooting somebody or robbing somebody or for weed. Yeah, time is valuable to me. It's really valuable.
Yeah, it's so crazy how this will constantly evolve as far as like doing videos and stuff. And people gotta understand, even just running a panel, it's not just one-on-ones are easier because it's just a two people. But with panel shows, you did them, because people generally you always have this conversation when you have a panel, and people will be like, well, what if that person can't speak about that topic? Oh well. Well, that's a good thing in life. Everyone needs to understand. Just sitting there listening can do a lot
You
good
might
for
learn
you.
something.
Yeah, that's kind of the
If
point.
something you can't talk about, you might learn something.
You're not,
But
or you could simply. Sometimes I do it if I'm really, really bored. I'll just mute the entire time and just come back when they're done talking because I'm not trying to ruin someone's flow when they're talking. I think it's just rude. Like, and you have to know in life you can't talk about everything. I can't talk about everything. That's why you have people on so it covers up like the whole dead air thing. That was a big thing people had. I was like, well, what if that person can't talk about that subject? How's that my problem? I'm sorry. What the fuck do I do about that? Go learn about it then. So we have the internet.
And nobody says you have to come out to talk about something you don't know anything about.
Yeah.
I try not to argue with people about stuff I don't know anything about.
I try. Yeah.
And the other night I was on a show and I said something about somebody else's theory.
Yeah.
About something.
Mm-hmm.
And the dude coming back at me with his credentials and where's mine? Mm-hmm. I was like, dude, I stated at the beginning that this is somebody else's theory that I'm talking about. Go ask them for their credentials. Mm-hmm. Come at me like an idiot because I'm voicing something into
that's the other thing that happens in conversation too is that like people go, well, this whole credential bullshit. I mean, those things can have merit. I'm not saying they can't, but I tell people this: we're just having a conversation. I'm not saying I have credentials or experience. I'm just telling you my experience on what I might know.
And it wasn't even my experience; it was somebody else's theory. And I said, "This is dude's theory." I said, "Dude's name." Dude knew who that person was. He didn't go, you need to tell dude to come at me with his credentials. No, he came at me.
Fucking crazy.
Like it was my theory. And it was like those kind of people that try to antagonize you and draw you out when they know what they're doing is based on bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, look, if he'd have said, hey, man, you need to tell that dude, I'd have been okay. But you know him, you can tell him yourself. Mm-hmm. Right? It ain't, why come at me like I'm saying this is my theory when I clearly stated somebody else's.
That's because people, they don't listen. The average person is so beyond stupid. I don't think they listen to anything.
They're locked in their own
words. They hear the beginning few words, they hear the ending few words. That middle part, that's why context gets lost on everything. Because
I mean, the dude's locked in. I get it. And he had legit credentials. And I'm not saying anything about that. But he was coming at me like I was challenging him. And I was just stating how somebody else had this theory about that time.
Yeah.
He's like, I wasn't challenging him. I don't have a theory about that time.
Addie says, and if you don't post constantly and consistently at the right times, you don't get picked up by the algorithms of people watching you and you don't get many views. Yeah. At least I will say this for YouTube. Even if you post something that is like not in a timely manner, you will still get some views. Like you'll still have some traction if you have an audience there. On Twitch, that does not happen, and nor does it happen on Rumble. If you don't post on any if you just didn't post at all for like months on end, you'd have like nobody watching.
Well, the one thing that I've noticed lately on our network, the Monday Madness, the Tuesday Morning Brew, the Madness Open Draw Stream, the three shows that have had the longest life are all getting pretty decent freaking views all of a sudden. Like, but they're ones that people know they can go watch. They're going to be there every week, every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern. That draw stream is going to go down. There's going to be 4, 5, 6, 8 artists there drawing cool shit. Mm-hmm. That's all. People know. Now we're getting 50 views, like live views. I'm like, whoa, there's a lot of people tuning into this for a minute, even if it's just for a minute. I don't care. There's a lot of people that are clicking that algorithm. more people click that algorithm, the more YouTube puts you out where people can see you on that bar thing on the side, on the top, and on the homepage. You know, you got to trip them algorithms, man, or nothing happens. You know, Jim O'Reilly in the chat. There's an amazing artist. Don't tell him I said that. All right?
Yeah. If you tell artists are the best ever, the egos are just out of this world. They just
no, this dude you can't pull. Getting him to say anything he does is awesome is like, or even good is like pulling teeth. Dude is Mr. Humble. He's like, oh, my shit sucks, but he's actually an amazing sculptor and artist and everything. Right? I mean everything. He's fucking. Yeah. I'm doing it again, Jim. Sorry.
What did you think about the recent? I'm pretty sure you watched this, the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight. Did you bother watching it?
Are you going to get me? Don't get me going on that.
Do you think Mike Tyson choked?
Or no, he just choked it up. I think he took the $20 million Jake gave him. Jake gave him to fight, and then went and bet the $20 million on Jake to win.
Yeah,
and made himself a nice little chunk of money. And because that wasn't the guy we saw in training videos, that was not the guy we saw.
Yeah,
they showed a video a couple days before the fight, and he was pulling against a bungee cord, coming forward with a bungee cord strapped to him. You know, I mean, pulling against the tension of a bungee cord. There ain't no way he couldn't move all of a sudden. No.
That literally that's why I thought
the problem is that he ruined what could have been another big payday because him and Evander had been sparring and they had even been talking about fighting again. Nobody's going to pay to see it now. He damaged his brand doing that.
I'm pretty sure he said on Twitter he's just gonna that was the one last ride kind of thing.
Yeah, except just a couple days ago, him and Ev were talking about maybe getting back in the ring together.
Oh God, yeah.
Right before the fight, man, all this shit, right? It's just like I said, dude wasn't the dude we saw in any of the training videos.
None of them. He was moving around, punching very fast, sparring. Now, the only difference between that is the one little thing I've seen people say that makes sense is like the sparring person wasn't fighting back, but that's not what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to just be there to take the punches and see how hard you hit. But you just see the way he was moving. He was moving fast, consistent. His mind was there. I don't know if it was, I mean, he definitely had medical problems because the whole transfusion thing he talked about, he has the ulcer thing. But the thing is, from those videos, he looked like he was ready to go. And when you saw when he hit Jake Paul, look like it hurt him pretty hard. Like, what the damn?
Yeah. The first two rounds, Mike came forward.
Yeah.
The first two rounds, Mike came forward and Jake went backwards. And he went back into the side to get away from him. He didn't want to get hit. He didn't want to get hit. Now, Jim O'Reilly pointed something out too, that there was no knee brace on Mike Tyson for 2 weeks before the fight, and suddenly during the fight he was wearing a knee brace. And he wasn't moving. And he might have hurt himself pre-fight and just didn't say anything. You know, I mean,
he's 58 years old. When you get to that point, your body starts breaking down.
When you're at this age, if something hurts, it hurts. Okay.
Really
you can jump out of bed and fuck your back up and be sore for the next 3 days.
Oh, yeah.
Just getting out of bed at this age. I'm 61. I know. Okay.
You know what everyone believed? Everyone went into this like an anime. They thought they were Goku and they were going to see Goku come back and fight and become a Super Saiyan and win. Like, guys, this is not an anime. He is 58 years old. Everyone wanted to believe in that story. Like, he's going to come back and beat up this new up-and-comer who just wants to fight senior citizens for some reason.
Yeah, and you look at his whole record, and it's fucking Silva at 39 and all these new. The one guy he fought that was his age was Tommy Fury, and he got his ass beat. That's Jake Paul. He knocks out old guys and ex-MMA fighters. And come on.
I mean, if he's happy getting $20 million, I'm happy for him. I mean, $20 million is $20 million. He said he doesn't care about legacy. Like, that's what Mike Tyson said. But at his age, he shouldn't even have to do that kind of stuff for money. What happened to his finances back in the day when he was considered a rich guy?
Where did he spend his money on? They parted him out, bro.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I remember. Yeah. Good Lord,
the problem is he didn't rebuild his brand correctly, or he would have never let this happen.
Yeah.
Okay. Because, like I said, he ruined his brand going forward by whatever that was the other night. And that's what I'm gonna say. Whatever that, I don't know if he just okay. I'm gonna take the money and run. I don't know if his knee was hurt. I don't know if when dude stepped on his toe that he didn't fuck his toe up, and that could be why he wasn't moving. You know, I mean, dude stepped on his toe the day before the fight. He's sick. He's 58 years old. Step on an old guy's toe, it's gonna fucking hurt. Guys.
Yeah, I think the whole spectacle of it, like leading up to it, like the hype and the narratives leading up to it, was actually more entertaining than the actual fight itself. Like when they actually got on the ring and then he drove Jake Paul pulled up in the car, Mike Tyson pulled up. I was like, okay, that's pretty hype now. That's the fight happened. I was like, oh, that's just that.
Let me tell you what.
Buffering issues, remember the Netflix constant buffering issues.
We actually had a pretty good. We had a bunch of people watching in my backstage on StreamYard. Jim was there. We were a bunch of us watching together, you know. And but I'm gonna tell you what, them two women threw more punches than all 6 of them dudes combined.
I think you never heard that. I've never heard this happening because I'm not the biggest like boxer. I don't really care too much.
Chicks kicked some ass, and Serrano got robbed.
But when you remember a boxing fight and happening with this many rounds where guys and girls will say the girls fought better? It's never happened. I've never heard that in my entire life. I've never heard the fact that girls did it better. That's
those chicks whooped ass. Those chicks went out there, beat on each other, and threw more punches than all 6 of them other guys combined. That was what was crazy.
Maybe the feminists wanted something, man.
And something punches, man.
Dude, maybe the feminists wanted something. Maybe women can do it better.
Well, they did it better that night. Ain't no doubt. I mean, Jim and I both was like, damn, them women put on better show than all 3 of them other fights combined. You know? Yeah. It was crazy. But except that, of course, Serrano got robbed because she won. You know, I mean... the punch count was almost double the other chick, and the other chick threw a lot of punches too. You know, I mean, but Serrano fucking outpointed her horribly, and the chick got a point taken away from her, and Serrano still lost. And I had the fight pretty close, but when they took the point away, I was like, okay, it's going to be hard to come back from that. And I don't think that chick fought good enough the rest of the fight to get that point back. Mm-hmm. I think Serrano won the fight. You know,
everyone wanted Mike Tyson to win because Jake Paul can be a piece of shit. You know, everyone wanted Mike Tyson to come in there and just beat him down. But guys, when you're 58 years old, okay, there's gonna have some limitations. Now, the narratives that happened after that were so cringy, dude. After that, people say, "Well, if you're this old, you can't fight." It's like, okay, not every old person can. I've seen old people still be able to move as fast as when they were younger. Yeah, so for people think apparently when you're 60, your legs fall off and you can't walk. It's like, okay.
I go out in the yard with my grandsons. One of them's an offensive lineman. I go out there and I make him block me. And I don't take it easy on him. I want him to be the best he can be.
Yeah.
Okay? I can still move. No freaking doubt. You know,
people act like just because Mike Tyson's 58, that means that every single person at the age is just some broken down old person who needs a cane to walk. Like, what? That doesn't even make logical sense. And the other people that went like, man, if I was in there with Mike Tyson, I'd beat him up. No. You'd be the guy getting knocked. We said he punched Jake Paul and like actually made him like, oh, okay, I gotta not fight this guy. You as a random person, if Mike Tyson punched you the same way Jake Paul did, you're knocked out completely.
Trying to get in range of Mike Tyson punching you. Fuck that.
Average motherfucker, like, I can go fight Mike. This is not an anime, you fucking weirdo. You're not going in there and you're not transforming. It's not happening.
Did you see the thing I posted on Twitter about if you were in a dark alley, Mike Tyson's at one end and Jake Paul's at the other end, and you got to fight past one of them to get out alive? Which one are you going towards?
Pretty sure I'm going towards Jake Paul.
Me too. And that tells you right there that even at 58, Mike Tyson is the more dangerous of the two. Mm-hmm. Plain and simple.
Yeah, I can't, man, like, and that happens in sports and everything, the whole like analyzing it and you're not in the ring and everything. I understand that. But to think that you, the average person, could beat up Mike Tyson, you're insane. You're mentally deranged.
Yeah.
The way that he punched Jake Paul, I promise you, most people are folding to the ground. Most people are.
And he didn't even get him good.
I wish I was that strong. Holy crap. Jim said, we didn't see Tyson in that fight. I agree. His eyes said it all the minute he walked out. Yeah, it could have been choking. You know, sometimes the pressure, you know, he had a lot of pressure going in that fight. He could have just mentally just been checked out. It's possible.
Well, I mean, if his knee or his toe were injured, he
Yeah.
knew going in it was going to be rough.
Yeah.
And he knew his knee or toe was only going to last so long. He went at him the first 2 rounds, and then he stood there the rest of the time, right? You know what I mean? That's kind of what happened, you know.
Terry says Jake Paul is an overrated YouTuber. Jake
Mhm.
Paul had bigger gloves. Jake Paul allegedly earned $50K from it, and Tyson won $75K to lose. Allegedly. I wouldn't put it past that to happen.
Dude, there was a lot more money involved in that.
I'm pretty sure you meant 50 mil or
Yeah.
75 mil. No, these were in the millions of dollars, I would say.
Tyson, I think, got 20 million, right? And I think Jake went ahead and loaned him that up front. He went and bet on Jake and made himself a quick 40 million and went home. You
Imagine that, but betting on the other guy, even though he came out. Remember before it, he slapped Jake Paul at the weigh-in.
Yeah.
And then he told the lady, I'm not going to lose.
That's
tomorrow.
when Jake stepped on his toe. That's when he slapped him, when he
You're right,
stepped on Mike's toe.
Mhm.
And that kind of shit hurts. Look, when you're old, somebody
Oh,
stomps on your toe, that shit hurts.
Like the way I used to move boxes back in the day when I was a bit younger, I could move them easier and my back wouldn't feel it. If I move boxes in a wrong way, I'm out when I get home.
You
I'm
twist them wrong. Oh, yeah. If you twist
yeah,
wrong,
you feel the knot. You're like, okay, I'm laying down right now. I can't move. Can't sit in a chair because you'll be dead.
Mhm. Mhm.
I think it was physically hurt, and he decided to just do it and endure the pain. No, that's the reason why. Even though Mike Tyson lost, he'll still come out looking like the hero, because if Jake won, well, he did win, but even though Jake won, people are like, well, he only beat up a senior citizen. It was a lose-lose for him anyway. Mike Tyson, even though he lost, comes out looking like the hero. People go, well, at least he tried it again. At least he came out.
That's just it, though. He'd look like more of a hero if he'd just rung his bell one good time. I mean, really, like rung his, just get him one, bull brush his ass into the corner, drop one of them big lunging left hooks on him, and then back up and see what Jake does. Jake probably wouldn't have gotten near him the rest of the fight.
God, man, I hate life sometimes. It felt like we were building up to this, and it just failed so hard. The next person Jake Paul's gonna fight is like I Show Speed. It's that black kid that's really famous that looks like he just does crack. I'm like, that guy's not fighting. That guy been fooled. Jake Paul is like 8 times that guy's size. I Show Speed looks like he's a black kid from Ethiopia.
I want to see him fight a top 5 contender. And now that he thinks he's all that, I want to see him fight a top 5 contender.
Fight Mark Hamill. Go, Jake Paul. Fight Mark Hamill.
Just anybody that's actually ranked. Fight a ranked fighter. Show me who you really are, Jake, because now you put yourself out there.
Yeah.
You know, and Logan, you might kill Mike Tyson now, motherfucker, but you'd have never touched him in his prime versus yours.
Yeah, people are in his prime, he was destroying
He would
people.
have killed you.
Well, the other
Logan all disrespected him after the fight, and that pissed me off too.
Are you fine? The other few things, I mean, we know Donald Trump won, but that was a landslide victory. A landslide in a way that I had never seen in my entire life. Good, because fuck them. These people are trash. The other one, actually, you just had surgery.
Come on, join or die, baby. Yeah, no.
Oh, true.
Yeah, no.
How did the whole surgery thing go? What was wrong with you?
I had remember I had that my diaphragm blew out.
And I remember. Yeah,
my stomach had crawled up into my chest cavity, was hanging out with my lungs.
That's definitely not good.
And yeah, eating wasn't possible really. It was like there was times when it was really bad, and I had to go have fixed. So last Friday, they finally, after months of the first time I went to the hospital, dude said, "This is what you got." And then after 8 months of tests, guess what? That's what I had. They finally fixed it.
Of course, they always got to keep you string along.
They could have fixed it the first day when dude goes, "This is what's wrong with you." Okay, can you fix that shit like right now?
That's how, if you're a veteran, that's how life works. They string you along for money. That's just how they send it. All work like that.
Big pharma and insurance companies.
Problems they could fix right then and there, they don't, because fucking reasons.
We gotta milk them insurance companies for money, bro. Well, they gotta milk that insurance money out of you before they can actually
You
fix
can't
it.
just fix you up and send you on your merry way.
But yesterday, I went to the doctor for my follow-up.
Yeah.
She okayed me to eat everything but 3 specific things.
Which are?
Steak, because it's not going to digest very easily right now. But she said I can have burger, right? She just, steak probably won't digest very easily. Bread, because when it gets in your stomach, it balls right back up like a ball of dough.
Mm.
And popcorn, because those little husks could get caught in my stitches before they ever even make it to my stomach, where they would hit or stomach acid dissolve, right?
Oh.
They could get caught in those stitches and never get down there and fuck things up. So, but everything else, I can have Thanksgiving dinner.
It's good enough. Yeah. You can have my wife's pussy too,
I could have that anyway. No.
Damn.
Don't throw shit on the plate that you think I ain't gonna eat.
Oh no, that's her. That's her. She'll take anything Tyrone gives her. My wife's boyfriend throws me out every night. I don't even get my house anymore.
Hey, it's better than Sancho.
Or Felipe.
She won't even come home if she's hanging out with Sancho. She won't even come home, right? Carrie.
Yeah, man. Yeah, my wife, Pop can have her. Tyrone has her.
That is what it is. Yes,
yeah.
Carrie.
It tastes so good, makes you want to slap your mom. That's good. That's a different movie. So the last few things I'll ask you, man, before we head out, is first thing. Do you have anything planned coming up? Do you have anything in 2024 going into 2025 that you want to let the audience know about? Anything you're working on?
This is what's going on, and I'm glad Cosmic Grandpa was in the chat, because that's the guy that made this all possible to go to the next level. Okay, without what he brought to the table, I'd still be going, I don't know how I'm gonna make this work. Okay, now I have a business partner. Now we're actually a legit business, and there's no obstacles anymore. So I'm waiting until after Christmas, but we're definitely going to have a sponsor drive and get ready for re-upping the highly now unbelievably priced StreamYard and all that, and start working toward. The main cost is going to be the server that holds all the content. Okay. And that's like $1,800.
Yeah, server space storage is not cheap.
It's not
right. Nothing is cheap. A lot of people keep saying things are, man, you have not lived life. Your mom and dad must still pay for everything for you because you don't know what the hell goes on.
It's like you can just go to Roku and not save anything there. I mean, we could just do, but that wouldn't be what we're trying to do. What we're trying to do is build something that's more like Netflix, like a view on demand, where somebody can go to watch the MSK and they'll see every episode there and they can binge watch it from day one to present. Okay. Just like they do on Netflix. You can go binge watch a show from the first episode to present. It's going to be that type of a platform. And server space ain't cheap. Like I said, the cost for going to Roku and the analytics so that we can keep track of who gets paid. You got to pay for that analytics app so that you can keep track of whose show is making what money and make sure that they get paid their money. Contracts, stuff like that, which, you can AI that shit, or you can have somebody legit do that shit and you can pay them and make sure it's right. Okay. Basically, I've always been a make sure it's done right shit, or I could have made booking AI contracts for shit a long time ago, right? No, that's not how I do it. I like legitimacy. I like to make sure that nobody's going to be coming at me later going, hey man, this is fucked up or that's fucked up. No, it ain't. I already know it ain't, because I got the right people in place right now to make sure that this thing grows and goes and keeps growing. That's the main thing. If it don't keep growing, it don't matter, right? You got to work at it every day. Every freaking day. You got to be out here telling people what you got going on. So our plan is Roku in 25.
To finally get it going,
on Roku early in 25, hopefully, but that just depends.
You want to probably do it around March, but late, maybe like August, July, probably.
Preferably before the summer, because I'd like it to be up in place when the con season starts.
Right, yeah. That's a lot of uploading too. God, people don't understand. I just did something recently where I told you before I was going to try and back up all my content on Rumble just in case anything happens, so I don't lose everything like I did before. I just finished uploading all of my Cloud9 podcasts. That was almost 300 episodes right there. I'm on the remaining number right now for season 13, and then I'm going to do that for all of my pre-recorded videos. I'm going to upload all my pre-recorded videos to Rumble because
yeah.
I'm not gonna lose everything. You got to do it from scratch because you're like, well, I should have uploaded that video. I don't want to have to happen uploading everything from scratch. I don't care. Yep. I'll take the time.
Well, right now I'm just trying to be nice and not get anything kicked off YouTube because it's all there right now, all organized.
Yeah, I'll show you right now. I'll drop it in Pop's.
Yeah, we're gonna get you some new viewers too. You see how that works? This is what I'm talking about. This is networking. This is me helping you grow, you helping me grow. That's how everybody's supposed to work together.
Well, I thought the Democrats said you guys were racist.
Dude, I hate everybody. It ain't got shit to do with race.
Yeah. As you get older, I just like my computer, going to work, and my comic books, and having food. I don't care. When you get older, you want the smaller things in life that make you happy.
Do you know where I was born?
Yes, that's me. And thank you if you do subscribe. Thank you.
Do you know where I was born?
You said Minneapolis, right?
Yeah, I was born in Hennepin County. I lived in a house on 30th Avenue and Lake Street. And anybody who knows anything about South Minneapolis knows that's like right next to George Floyd Ground Zero. Like right there. Lake Street. All them shops that burned, those were stores that were there when I was a kid. Maybe even the first place I ever bought a comic book burned down that day. Okay, I can't remember exactly where I got my first comic, but I think it might have been at that Walgreens. There used to be a Woolworths, I think, on Lake Street when I was a kid. But, I mean, I grew up in a neighborhood that was mostly black and Chippewa Indian.
Yeah.
I didn't know what racism was. We didn't, everybody lived in that neighborhood. It was, it was weird, dude.
Mm-hmm. I never even looked at people generally like that. I knew that certain races did certain things differently from one another, but I like to look at people based off like personality and actions. Their race is like the furthest thing from my mind. Now, if we're talking like political aspects of why like certain parties maybe try to get favor in with certain races based off like certain things they do, that's different, right? But we're just like person to person. I think someone's actions matter more than like
I'm talking about like my parents. You know how your parents always said, "Hey, you need to stay away from that kid," or "You need to stay away from that kid," right? My parents didn't have a color attached to that. If it was a shitty kid, it was a shitty kid. It didn't matter if he was black, white, Indian, whatever, right? They were honest with me. That's a good kid. That's a bad kid. That's a good kid. That's a bad kid. And it didn't have anything to do with how they were wrapped. It had to do with how they interacted with my parents. Those were the ones that were respectful of my parents. My parents were like, yeah, that's a cool kid. Hang out with him. And you know what I mean? It didn't. The rest of it didn't matter. It was all about respecting the older generation. If you respected your friends' parents, your friends had no problem with you hanging out with them. If you didn't respect your friends' parents, they probably didn't want your kid hanging out, with you, right? It's always going to boil down to respect.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, if you respect people, people will respect you. You have a lot better chance of getting where you're trying to.
Is since the View needs more pro, Trump people. All you need is
are you really going to take me to the View right now, bro?
Just get some of your pro-Trump friends, get them hired on the View, and just have them talk to Whoopi Goldberg. Just saying, I just need content, and my life will be better.
But see, that's Whoopi the Hutt, bro. Every time I see her, she looks more like Jabba.
What's funny, man?
Man.
Recently, she announced she was going on a sex strike. Hey, okay.
Nobody hitting that anyway. Nobody cares.
Her saying she's going on a sex strike is like, all right, cool.
Yeah, it's
Oh my
there's
god!
a everyone that I've seen that said they were going to do that's like when I went, yeah, I don't think you're going to have to worry about that too much.
I don't think I learned about anything at that point, you know. Oh shit! But yeah, the last thing I'll ask you before we head out of here is: do you have any shout outs you want to get to anyone in particular, and anything else you want to say before we head out?
Everybody in the Madness Comic Network. I love all you and everybody who watches and everybody who wants to be part of it down the road at some point. That door is always open.
Yeah.
Right? I want more shows, sponsorships, everything that we can do to make this thing grow and get these shows to Roku, to get your show to Roku. Everybody, man. The bigger splash we make the day we land there, that's the bottom line right there. The bigger the splash we make the day we land there is kind of going to dictate where we go after that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, hell, some of these shows can get picked up by cable networks and shit. You got to get out there and get seen, people. You know,
yeah.
I like bringing new shows to the network. I like that. I want growth. I want to help your channel grow. I want to help my channel grow. I want to help Lori's channel grow. But as far as shout outs, Silverline, Lori, Levi Steen, my new co-host for Monday Madness and the Madness Open Draw Stream, Texas Dave over there in the UK, killing it every week with me on the show-offs. Dang, there's just too many, man. We got Les Gardner does the Comic Artist Hour on Wednesday.
Yeah,
and
Critical Black.
Brian and Preston and Matt over there doing the Horror Movie Club every week. All the guests that respond when I go out there and I say, hey, I'm booking. I need some people for a show this week. And they jump in there and they come out on the shows. By the way, Dees Casillas, the guy in that post in the group, that dude's awesome. He's a comedian and a creator. So
I posted in the because you know I told you this a long time ago on the other show. Yeah. Every once in a while, give or take like 6 months to a year, I like to go on some of the groups and ask people if they want to come on shows, whether it be panel shows or one-on-ones, because you know it's always good to switch up the dynamic every once in a while, get a new perspective in, you know, just get a new person. It's always a fresh feeling, creating a little mini like honeymoon phase. You know how it goes. You've been doing this for a while, so. You know, if anyone is in that group and they want to come on panel shows or do this every once in a while, I'm cool with that. You know, as long as you're consistent, it's fine with me. You know,
and that's the whole thing. And that's another thing. When the Madness Facebook group, it's for everybody. Okay, you don't have to have your show. Doesn't have to be on the network for you to go there and let people know that you got a show. There's a lot of people that post over there regularly. Brian Permisson, you know, there's a lot of people that do shows that aren't part of the network that still post over there and post about it in the Madness Comic Network on Facebook. I encourage that. This whole thing is about a networking hub. It's not about, oh, you're the competition. I don't want you posting shit in my group. That ain't what it's about. This is supposed to be co-opetition. It's an indie nation, people. It's not a community. Communities sit next to each other. This is a fucking indie nation. Be part of it. You know, yeah.
The whole thing of like fandom and stuff like that. It's like, goddamn. The whole thing of like groups and things stuff. I don't understand why people want to be part of like certain indie groups. It's a whole. If you want to use the word community, it's indie is a whole different type of a landscape. Having just one group when it's already a niche makes no sense. You're all in the same niche. No one's breaking out to anything.
And it's not just indie comics. It's independent films. It's independent. Okay. Independent from a conglomerate that's paying for your marketing. Independent. It's an independent nation, people. Work together. Everybody grows if you work together. That's all.
So, yeah, it was great catching up with you, man. Can't wait to have you on again sometime, you know, in the future. Talk about some more stuff. And as you know, comics are, it's good Lord, man. I don't have a spending problem.
They're madness, brother. They're madness.
I don't have a spending problem, man. It's my wife. She threw me out and I had nothing else but my comic book. So I had to make a fort out of them.
Oh, dude.
God.
I can make an igloo. See, look, Crom has an igloo. Crom has a
good Lord, man.
He has a throne and everything. Look. A comic throne.
See, he's got more than what I have. My wife gave me nothing. What the hell? Well, thank you guys for checking out this episode of the Miss K Show, and we will see you guys later. Have a great night, everybody.